Good. Welcome to my session, guys. This is progressive trading, and I'll be analyzing a few pairs and also Nasdaq and US30 for you guys. So it's forex pairs and indices. So basically, what I'm going to say to you guys today is that it's a Sunday. So this is Sunday market breakdown, and it's Mother's Day. So yeah, happy Mother's Day to the people who will be listening to this. And I think that's all for now, man. So what we're looking at currently is Nasdaq. And unfortunately for me, I haven't been in these trades. This past week, I haven't traded anything. What? I haven't traded anything. Anyway, English is not my mother tongue, guys. Come on. So with that being said, guys, last week I had a lot of electric problem. Eh? What? Guys, I can't seem to talk. But then it's not my fault, guys. I just ate the biggest Sunday course plate I've ever seen in my life, guys. Yo, that one was big. So please don't blame me if I can't seem to speak properly today. But then with that being said, last week I had a lot of electric problems, so I didn't have electricity for like almost the whole week. So it's kind of like, so I couldn't connect to my laptops and things like that. But then with what we're seeing here, guys, I don't think I should like reanalyze from the daily or like clean. Or I can actually do that. Let me just do that. Let me clean so that you guys can see what I see and what I'm seeing. This is going to the downside. So with that being said, this is Nasdaq, by the way, guys. So let me see if this is recording and the sound is actually audible. Yes, it is. So we do what we always do every day. This is our high, right? And also, guys, I haven't been posting because my data is giving me issues. So most of the time I cannot because there's no network or things like that. There's no electricity. When there's no electricity, there's no network also. So it's just common telecom, guys. Brothers and sisters, brother and sister. I think. You know what? Let me just stop speaking English because oh my God. So with that being said, this is our low. Oh well, this is our point of no. Actually, this is our point of interest low. Actually, this one. Why am I saying that? Because we have a pattern that we need to complete somewhere around these areas, which is this one. Hopefully this week, but guys, I'll be able to trade and grow my accounts. But with that being said, man, before last week I had a tough week. I almost blew my account, but and I know I keep on telling people about risk management, but then you know what, man, it was a mistake. Things that I could have seen coming, but then I didn't avoid them. Once in a while, you slip off the right train. So with that being said, guys, this is our correction to the upside. This is our rising wedge or whatever they call this correction pattern. But then clearly it is a correction, guys. And we had our first touch, we had our second touch here, and this is our third touch right here, right? So we have third touches, we broke out impulsively to the lowest. That's how the market moves most of the time, guys. It breaks out to the previous low or high. So if the market was vice versa, we're going to the downside, like this pattern right here. Let me just show you. Well, I'll show you but then let me show you right now. Let me show you right now, actually, what I want to show you. It's something that we need to teach as people who, well, I'm not a teacher, but then when you're analyzing, so the market is going to come and touch it, give us 3 touches, right? And possibly impulse to the upside. And if it does happen to break this candle, it's going to impulse to the, oh my God, what is this now? It's going to impulse to the previous high, which is this one. In this case, we're going to the downside, right? Now, when we break this pattern, we're going to impulse towards this area. And in this case, we were going up, we impulse towards our what? Our previous low, which is this one, right? And now that we broke it, now we know that, okay, now we are reversing. This is a market reversal, because sometimes it can impulse to the downside and go back in, right? And continue to the downside with the with it forming a what? A double bottom. So these are the things that you need to be careful of and be vigilant when you're analyzing such things and breakouts and all that. Because sometimes people, they see the market is here and they're like, the market has left me, and they enter and they risk, and they risk a lot of money, and they cannot actually put their stop losses accordingly. So when the market has broken out but then hasn't reached their previous low or high, in this case, then you need to wait for the market and it will come back. So with this being said, the market can break to these areas, right? And then come back down a little bit again inside and go to upside to complete the pattern, the 90% rule, or it can break up and then come back to these areas. Right, this to me is a strong area. But this is a key support area. Oh my God, what the hell is happening? To me, this is a key support area. The market might come back and also forcefully break out to retest the trend line, and then boom, continues to the upside, So these are the things that you need to look out for when trading this market or Nasdaq in the future, or any market, because the market moves in similar ways. Oh my God, guys, I don't know if I told you this, but then I just had the biggest Sunday go split in my life. Yo, staying in a black household, she will never have a six-pack. Yeah. Otherwise, with that being said, now, as you can see, this is our 90% area, right? What we're waiting for is the market to get to this 90% area. And then depending on how it gets there, we will say we'll impulse to the upside or move correctively to the upside, right? So let me just scale down to the 4-hour time frame. But then now, because we've scaled down to the 4-hour time frame, we realize that now we're moving correctively. And this is our pattern right here, right? This is our pattern. And this pattern is a beautiful pattern that I've traded along. I've traded it. I went down with this pattern, had a lot of winning trades and a lot of losses, but and I was supposed to have this win right here. Imagine I was supposed to enter here with this engulfing, beautiful engulfing, guys, as you can see, and then go down with it to these areas. If you scale down to the 1 hour, you can realize that no, you could have entered somewhere around, because I had a pattern like this, guys. I don't know if you've seen my channel or my thing. I had a channel set up like this right here, and I was ready to sell when the market got here, and it got here and then it sold. But then I couldn't trade. I wasn't live on the charts. So with that being said, guys, also you have to know that you'll always have opportunities in the market. So don't rush for trades, or don't be sad when you don't get a trade. Although sometimes it is quite heartbreaking, when you've been analyzing and you're like, okay, I'm waiting for this one. I'm going to trade this. You've been planning for this trade for a long time, being patient. You know what they say about being patient in the market. The market rewards people who are patient. And clearly it does, because look at this. If you've been waiting here and you waited for it to come touch here, now look at this big, nice fall or sell-off. Even here, nice big sell-off. Even here, nice big sell-off. Then you would have gotten rewarded by the market, right? So it is hard, but then man, you gotta accept and move on, man. It's part of the psychology. So with that being said, we have our dead touch right here, right? So what I can say is, for me, I'd like to put my trend line there, and I'd like to put it like that. So we have 2 touches, right? Let me just mark these touches. We have this touch 1, we have this touch 2, right? So honestly, this is how I've placed my trend line, and you can place it the way I had placed it before, but then I believe this area, there was a reason why I did this, right? There was a clean and strong reason why I did that, and when I put it there, I can realize or see that, okay, the market hasn't actually, it has 2 touches, and now also we have 2 touches on this big trend line, well, 3, which is 1, 2, 3, and the market, bought, strong buys, impulse to the upside and all that. But now we have this 1, 2, 3 potential 1, 2, 3 touch, and we have a potential touch on our 4th touch on this trend line, potential fourth touch on this trend line, of which is going to probably give us massive, you know, it's going to give us a massive impulse to the upside, because we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and as you can see, it touches quite nicely. So what I'm expecting is the market to move to the upside again a little bit, and like, you know, give us a flag in a way, and then boom, impulse to the downside with this green line here, or this, you know, green mark line. This is our 90% hold. It might give us that 90% hold touch, and then sell off to the downside to give us our dead touch on this pattern within this bigger pattern, and give us our fourth touch, and retrace back to these green lines, and then boom, move to the upside. That's what I'm guessing. Now this is like probably, this is a probability, guys. I'm not saying this is going to happen like clean, but that's what I'm expecting to see. Or maybe I wouldn't be surprised if I saw that, you know. But then of course, also again, guys, if the market decides, you know what, we break, boom, then I'll wait for the market to impulse and give me a correction somewhere around the middle of these areas, and I'll go down with it and continue to the downside with it, guys. That's what I'll be looking at and looking for my side. The markets are crashing, guys. Bitcoin is down. It's like the last time I checked, it was like $35,000. That's like almost a 50% fall, because before its highest high was like what, $60,000. Now it's like 35,000. You know, so clearly we will be going to the downside some more. So we should also, so in a way, expect some more downfalls or downward trends in this Nasdaq thing. But I'm not saying Nasdaq and Bitcoin they move in the same way, but you know. So also, if it does happen that we impulse to the upside, we will come in and give ourselves a dead touch, which is 1, 2, 3. And remember, guys, what I've said, the dead touch has the most significant power. You know, it has more potential. So we might get that dead touch. And since we are in what we call a downtrend, a bearish trend, it might happen that when we get here, we might sell off, continue to the what? To the downside, like we did here. You see, we got here, we bought, we got here, we bought, we got here, we bought. And then the market eventually decided, you know what, we'd like to reverse with the double top, and we did reverse with the double top. So scaling down to the 1 hour, well, oh my God, what's happening to my network? So scaling down to the 1 hour, guys, there's nothing much to be done here, as you can see, because the market is in the middle of nowhere. And if you haven't traded, you didn't make profits, then you can clearly find areas where you feel like, you know, the market has to go to, or before it does anything, you know, like significant area right here. You scale down, you look at it, and you're like, okay, maybe the market has to. And also you have certain imbalance candles here, so you need to keep an eye on the market, you know, keep an eye on the market, because it might just impulse back in, especially Monday, might impulse back in to cover some of these and then go to the downside. And if it does that, you might have something like movement to this upside here. So you can wait for the market. The market might just come and hit these areas, continue to the downside, or come back to these areas and continue to the downside. So you need to like be careful with that and keep an eye on it, because, hey man, I actually learned a lot of lessons with these trades around these areas when I was trading, when I took big losses. It was like, yo man, the market doesn't like just continue like that. You know, there are certain movements that needs to be completed and all that. So just be careful and watch that, you know. So going to, and as you can see, this is actually a strong resistance area. and also this one. So just wait for confirmation candles, guys, and it will go in your direction, hopefully. But then this is still a selling market. But then honestly, for Monday, I wouldn't trade. Well, I'm not going to trade Monday because as you can see, this market is in the middle of nowhere. The only time I'll trade is if I actually see, because we have our first touch around these areas, second touch, and probably get out that touch here, and we move to the downside of the market, or it breaks back in. And by the time I get on the charts, because I start analyzing at 9 a.m. every day, it would have possibly broken this area. That's when I'll know, okay, the market is coming to these areas, and then it will continue down. Now then, if it has broken these areas, I know that, okay, I need to set my sell stops or sell limits and continue it to the downside. So that's how you actually be proactive in the market, like, because you're not trading at 12 a.m. until 9 a.m. The market would have moved, of course, between that time. So when it moves, you're not in the market, right? You won't even have that pressure of, the market is leaving me or anything, you see. And when you come back it has broken these areas, okay, we are coming here, and this is going to be our left shoulder head and right shoulder anyway, and we'll continue to the downside. But it will all be visible on Monday and all that. So also US30, similar movement, guys. US30 and Nasdaq, similar movement. That's why I still believe that we're going to be taking more lows, because as you can see, we are kind of in the middle of the market with US30, right? And we kind of have two touches in this pattern with Nasdaq, with US30. So I'm kind of like expecting the market to do this, to impulse to the downside, come touch around these areas, and then come back and touch here for a dead touch, and we sell off. So that's what might happen for US30, and hopefully it does happen like that, man, because we have 1, 2, and we're expecting our dead touch, which will be going to the upside with. But then also we don't have I don't have another pattern here that I've drawn in a way, because like this market is not like the same as Nasdaq. It doesn't have a clean pattern to draw. When you don't see a pattern to draw, don't draw a pattern, because you'll end up confusing yourself. That's what I've seen for Nasdaq for this upcoming week, and I'll analyze, of course, the weekday breakdown, and hopefully I'll give you guys a signal, like I usually do. As you can see, this is like a double bottom, either in a way, double bottom. We have this big candlestick that if we look down, if we look at it in like the lower time frames, as you can see, it's kind of like a few imbalanced candles there. So the market might be working towards pushing up to the upside, push to around these areas. As you can see here, also I've already like placed my, okay, this was like already there like before, because with US30 I had analyzed also, but then I had a pattern like this. Somewhere here. This pattern, my pattern was like this, So I was expecting the market to come before this buy happened. I was expecting the market to come and touch these areas, because it had touched here and it was around these areas. Like, nah, I cannot buy before it touches again for a dead touch, or something like that. And then instead of touching and playing games, it boom went up to the upside. So clearly it broke out. Then when I come back, I'm like, okay, this is a pattern now. You have to redraw your lines and things like that. I realized, okay, we have this pattern and we have two touches on this pattern, right? Because to me, honestly, this had always been a pattern, hence I've drawn this pattern here, and it was respecting the pattern. So clean. And the last time I traded in the middle of nowhere like this, I took a lot of losses. I had seen these buys, but then I was like, nah, I'm not going to buy, because these buys confirmed. Guys. We have a hammer on a trend line. We have an engulfing after that. This is a major confirmation. That's the only confirmation you might need, especially on a key area like this, right? But then because the last time I did that, I actually took big losses. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Especially with Nasdaq also, I had seen this buy because I realized, okay, this is what we have. We have this imbalance candle, right? But then now, when I looked at it in my MetaTrader 4, because what you see here and what you see on MetaTrader, it's not actually the same in a way. We have like in the 4-hour time frame, we have imbalance candles, major imbalance candles. Hence, I had my thing around these areas. Hence, I had marked these areas as like, okay, when we cover these areas, that's when I'm going to sell because we have a huge imbalance candle there. And we don't just take imbalance candles lightly in this trading game because imbalance candles are like good confirmation also, just like this one. As you can see, it was going to cover imbalance. This is a clean imbalance candle, by the way, and as you can see on how it went down, it clearly sold off because it went down correctively to cover the imbalance and sell off. The confirmation inverted hammer and doji on doji. After doji, you had an engulfing big confirmations, man. And if you scale down to the lower time frame, this is a double top, right? Okay, it's not a double top in there. Well, this is a double top, but then messy in a way. Oh, which one is it? Oh, this one, right? Double top, triple top, but still something top. So with that being said, guys, I'm done with Nasdaq. Hope you guys have learned something. Because as you can see, it's here, we are on a downtrend. So sales are most likely to make you have a nice day when you trade because you know you'll be on the right side of the market. You'll have a smile on your face, but also be careful of these small buys in lower time frames. Just don't enter because you can enter in the market, analyze. You can have a pattern like this right here and say, okay, this is what I have, or you can say, this is what I have right here. This is a pattern, right? As you can see, we have 1, 2 touches, wait for that touch and sell with the market. Clean and easy pattern structures. So don't just rush everything, just wait for the right timing and then make money in the market, guys. With that being said, I'll be recording another video for Forex pairs, and yeah, we have some exciting news for those ones because I've seen some beautiful moves coming this week and hopefully make money from them also. And also, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I know my YouTube channel is not an ideal YouTube channel. It doesn't have a profile picture. I don't have a, what do you call this? A thumbnail and things like that. But then, man, I'm here for the education, and hopefully you guys can learn from my videos. So please do like, comment, and share and subscribe. And if maybe you want me to analyze a certain pair, just write down a comment, yo man, analyze GBP, CHF, and I'll do that. I wouldn't mind. So thank you.